second base. Chip Hale, a left-handed swinging third baseman, hits second. Wayne Kirby, the veteran big leaguer, is the center fielder. Their most talented player, the catcher Eli Marrero, is the cleanup hitter. Reed Seacrest, a big, strong left-handed hitting first baseman. Pop Warner has been their most consistent player offensively, playing shortstop tonight. Juan Munoz, good speed, a good arm in right field. Todd Steverson, the former #1 pick in left field, and Larry Lubers, the right-hander, will be on the mound tonight for the Memphis Redbirds. And, of course, the Redbirds will be looking at the right-handed offerings of Rene Arocha. New Orleans comes in at 30-21, leading the East Division by a game and a half over Oklahoma. And Memphis is 22-29, 8 games back of the Zephyrs, and they've lost 5 in a row. Season series, Z's lead 5 games to 2 in that department. And the Zephyrs and the Redbirds are getting set for action. And there's a look at Rene Arocha. Rene comes into this game having pitched solid baseball, if not spectacular, this year. Arocha for the Zephyrs, 10 appearances, all starts, 5-4, 5.14 earned run average, no complete games, 61 in the third innings, 79 hits, 42 runs, 35 earned, 18 walks, 39 strikeouts. He's given 10 home runs, the highest on the club. He has 2 wild pitches, and they've had .315 against Arocha. Ronnie's a control pitcher, a guy that's always going to be around the plate, and a guy that works very, very quickly.
He's a pretty good athlete, Kenny. I mean, we're going to find out later on. He likes to swing the bat. He likes to field his position. He likes to play ball. He was one of the first of the refugee ball players out of Cuba. Actually got out of there before the big money was flowing, and really hasn't, he's gotten a little bit of big league time, not nearly as much as he would like to get, but he's not quite the same kind of pitcher as he was when he was signed originally by the Cardinals.
Irony of ironies, Rene, of course, went to the big leagues with the Cardinals, and that's the organization he's facing here tonight. A good look at Arocha, who's an extremely nice man. Just a pleasure to spend time around. The umpires tonight, Mike DeMuro has the plate, Ron Culpa at first, Ian Lamplug at second, Pat Connors at third. Will go up to the big leagues for a few days later this week, so our congratulations to him, and we wish him well. Set for baseball, and Placido Polanco leads it off, the second baseman. 2:45, first pitch of the game, in the air to left field and deep in Cavilla back. He's on the track, he's looking up, and on the first pitch of the game, Memphis takes a 1-0 lead.
Well, that sure didn't take long. Started him off, looked like a fastball, and he deposited into left field. As we said before, the wind blowing straight out didn't hurt that one at all. So Polanco gets him out of there, out of the chute in a big way.
First pitch at 7:07, and what a start here tonight as Polanco hits his first home run of the year. That's not really part of his game, but as mentioned, Arocha is going to throw strikes, and they go up swinging, and it pays dividends immediately. And also, as mentioned, Rene will give up home runs. That's the 11th that he's yielded this year. That's 6th most in the league. Here's Hale, and that's a strike call. That's why you might want to look to swing early in the count. Hale is 262, 3 homers, 22 RBIs, 0 for 5 in this series. 1-1 the count. They shade this guy to hit the ball the other way.
He's another guy with a bunch of major league experience. He was with Minnesota 89 through 96, parts of those years.
This is Butler in center field, has a beat on this one. Makes the catch, but we can see early on that the ball's going to carry quite well tonight.
Yeah, he didn't hit that one that hard, but Butler had to go back a bit into the gap to get it.
Good look at Rob, who's really played well since coming off of the disabled list. And now the center fielder with Ray Montgomery having been summoned to the big league Astros. 1 out of the inning, and now Wayne Kirby will bat. Speaking of guys with extensive big league experience, he's got that. 283 average, 5 homers and 23 RBIs for Kirby. He's a dead pull hitter, and that's the way they have him played defensively.
He has a bit more than 4 years of big league time.
At the knees, Arocha getting ahead.
Little sinker ball there. He was up with Los Angeles, or Cleveland rather, in 91 through 96, then 96, 92, 97 with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
0-2 on the good changeup from Arocha, a souvenir for the crowd. Happy gentleman there, hands it to a youngster who's thrilled. On the ground foul outside of first, another sinker from Arocha. He'll throw that fork ball ahead of the count. That sinks to the hitter. Good look at Wayne Kirby in the Memphis Redbirds road uniform. It's a nice looking uniform, although I like those Louisville Redbirds uniforms perhaps a little bit better. Here it comes. Struck him out. Boy, they really stayed into Kirby over the last couple of nights, and they've had some success doing so.
That's been the thing on him, is pitch him inside, inside, inside. And yet in batting practice, of course, this ball's a little bit up and out of his hitting zone, and he's not going to hit that. I don't care if it's a 45-mile-an-hour fastball. I don't think he's going to hit it up there.
And now Eli Marrero, who homered last night for Memphis for their only run. 204 hitter, 4 homers, 10 RBIs. Terrific prospect. Coming back from cancer, quite a story. Took it over but low from Arocha.
Boy, he juiced one out of here last night. The only run that Bob Malachi gave up, and it was a big one. It was a bomb, but a solo shot.
Stayed into him again, and it's 2-0. This guy had cancer and missed significant time in spring, and then to open the season was activated by the Cardinals. And in his first game with St. Louis, he homered and tripled. Changeup for a strike, and it's 2-1. A little bit of the respect that Arocha has for Marrero right there. A couple of Cuban refugees facing each other here, swing and a miss. He stayed off speed again. And it's 2-2. Marrero, like Arocha, came over to America from Cuba. Has a very bright future. Eli was able to do it a lot earlier in life than Arocha was.
And probably made a little more money doing it.
And a nice job by the catcher, Molesky, to hang on to the foul tip on that forkball. And the inning is over. Fans 2 in a row. A run on a hit, no errors, and nobody left. Bottom of the first coming, 1-0 Memphis. You're watching the New Orleans Zephyrs. Brought to you by Pizza Hut and WHNO Sports.
In the fast-paced society of the 90s, you must have an edge to succeed. Concordia University can give you that edge. With several different areas of concentration, you can get your associate or bachelor's degree in as little as 18 months from Concordia University. Fully accredited, competitive prices, year-round programming. Call Concordia University today at 828-3802. Concordia University, excellence in Christian education since 1881.
If you suffer from heart or circulatory ailments, an alternative to medication and surgery may be chelation therapy from CMS.
I was on medication. I was a candidate for bypass surgery. Where I used to have no energy, I have great hopes for the future.
I'll probably live to be well over 100. Planning on it anyway.
Chelation patients have reported a complete reversal of symptoms. Call the doctors at CMS and find out if chelation is right for you.
Good pizza.
Yeah.
Good pizza.
Yeah.
Good pizza.
Yeah.
Good pizza.
Yeah.
Hey, how about a pan pizza?
Hello, didn't we do that yesterday?
Good pizza.
Yeah.
At Pizza Hut, we've got so many pizzas, you can do something different every day. So many pizzas, one great deal.
Call Pizza Hut now for the WHNO Zephyrs Meal Deal. You'll get a large 3-topping pizza, breadsticks, and Pepsi, all for $15.99.
Bottom of the first, 1-0 Memphis. Larry Lubers to the mound. Let's take a look at the lineup he will face for the Zephyrs. Brought to you by Hoffman's A-Quality. Russ Johnson, the third baseman, hitting .306. Luis Rivera at short tonight. Carlos Guillen gets a res. Daryl Ward has come back with a 6-game hitting streak. Pete Incaviglia red hot in the cleanup spot. Mitch Molesky, the catcher. Rob Butler playing well in center field. Dax Jones has gotten hot in right field. Carlos Hernandez struggling a bit at the plate, but a good fielder, and Arocha on the mound for the Z's against Larry Lubers. Good look at Lubers, who on the year, 10 appearances, all starts, is 4-3, a 4.26 earned run average. Russ Johnson leads it off, 306, 3 homers, 18 RBIs. A good look at Lubers and the numbers for the year. Johnson 2 for 10 in the series, 2 walks, 2 runs scored, and an RBI to his credit. And ball one. These two hooked up over in Memphis on the 23rd. Lubers and Arocha, and Rene won that one 5-4.
I was listening to that game on the radio. That's when the C's hit back-to-back-to-back home runs.
In the air by Johnson, foul. Near the screen, Marrero takes a look, out of play. 1-1.
Johnson took a 1-for-4 from him. Hit that last ball game, but boy, Russ is really swinging the bat good. He took a 1-for-4 last night, and he hit everything right on the nose. I know in our radio interview I did with Malecki on SMB for Clubhouse Chatter, Malecki remembered that Johnson banged one off his leg last night. A line drive back up the middle that he deflected to the third baseman, and Russ was thrown out at first.
2-2 the count now on Johnson, leading it off here in the first inning for the Z's, who trail it 1-0. They play Russ straight away. He had about as hard a one-hit game as you could have last night. 1 for 4, and he spanked some balls with bad luck. And now it's full 3-2, a typical Russ Johnson at bat.
And you know, the thing about those 3 home runs the Z's hit off of Lubers, it really didn't predict. He was kind of in good shape up to that point. And they went boomba, boomba, boomba. Molesky, Incaviglia, Montgomery went deep in a row.
Payoff pitch. Let it go by for ball 4. Johnson does it again. He leads off by getting on, which he does wonderfully, and that's the 44th time that he's walked this year.
That is amazing. But they've been very positive walks. You know, they've been aggressive walks. He swung at the strikes when he should have, and he took the balls when he should have. He's just been really, really patient at home plate. Sometimes you can walk a lot by just not being aggressive. That's not what Russ is doing.
Here's Rivera, 243, a homer, 7 RBIs. Johnson down at first is swiped 4 bases on the year in 8 attempts. Hard but foul outside of third. Rivera loves that first pitch.
First pitch fastball. You know he's going to be hacking. But, yeah, it's just really amazing that Luis has not had as many opportunities to play this year as he did last year, obviously with Carlos Guillen here. But, man, Russ is looking. You see when he does that? He kind of wants to signal again, maybe?
Yep.
At first base.
Snap throw over there, not close. Held on by Reed Sechrist.
But this year, Luis Rivera has really been a good hitter and been more patient and taken, it seems like, per at-bat more walks.
In the air, right field, and playable. This is Munoz in a step or two. Johnson has to retreat to first. That's out number 1.
Get that ball more on a line to right field, it can become a problem because the sun is going down behind the left side bleachers, or left side grandstand.
Here, look at Munoz. That's the Sun Field as we speak. Daryl Ward to the plate. 324, 6 homers, 27 RBIs. 27 RBIs in 27 games played. And a 6-game hitting streak coming in. Into the seats, it's 0-1.
I just ask anybody watching right now, just watch Daryl Ward, and if you're trying to figure out what this guy that, you know, besides having great reactions up there, he's very quiet, never jumps at the ball, never loads up. You never get that sense like you do with J.R. Phillips sometime that he's just a watch spring wound to its maximum tension.
Hard to left for a base hit. Johnson is going to try for third. And the throw comes into second. It's runners at the corners with 1 out and a 7-game hitting streak for Daryl Ward.
And Johnson doesn't even draw a throw. The left fielder just concedes the base to Johnson, which is pretty interesting. But watch this. He just relaxes. That's a pretty decent pitch on the outside corner. He waits on it, and I mean, he bangs it pretty hard to left field. Steverson has to catch this one far enough out that he looks at Johnson and says, no, I can't get him, but, you know, and he makes the throw into second base, which, as it turns out, was the wise play. Johnson running the bases aggressively.
Keeps the double play in order. Incaviglia bats. 297 average, 6 homers, 16 driven in, 0-1 the count. Pete has really been hot with a stick, 5 for 10 in the series. He's been hit by a pitch, scored 4 times, homered twice, and driven in 4. 5 for 7 in his last 2 ball games. On base percentage growing at .398.
It sounded like they were hitting Pete a few times in Memphis.
Nice pickup by Marrero. Count even, 1-1.
Eli's quite a story. He has just recently come off of chemotherapy to treat that cancer, so we were suggesting he wasn't at his maximum strength, still on the rebound, and he juiced one out of here last night that Looked like the Marrero we used to know.
This is slowly to the right side. Play's going to be the first, and everybody's safe, and we're tied at 1. That's got to be a fielder's choice, RBI.
RBI.
And that's what they give him, fielder's choice. Error on the second baseman, Polanco. RBI Incaviglia ties the game.
Well, look, you can see on the ball here, it's off the end of the bat from Incaviglia, right off the end of the bat. The second baseman, Polanco, he's going to boot it the first time, but now watch. See, he looked up before he had his hand on the ball, and that's why he didn't get it on the first stab. He thought he knew where the ball was, and he looked up to see the runner instead of concentrating on the ball, and Incaviglia is safe on an error.
And now Mitch Molesky, who homered against this pitcher over in Memphis. Switch hitter bats left, 291. 6 homers, 25 driven in. First and second, 1 out, tied at 1. Slowly toward the right side, instant replay. Polanco underhands this one to first for the second out. The runners advance to second and third.
Well, Mitch did what he was supposed to do, and that's pull the ball. And, you know, the thing we've noticed about the Z's, he's really conscious of pulling the ball, too. That's probably not a pitch he should pull, but in this situation, you want to at least get the runners over. Yeah, you want a base hit, but at least get the runners over.
And now with 2 outs, here's Rob Butler. Left-handed swinger, had a 6-game hit streak snap last night. Batting .242, no homers, 8 RBIs. 3 for 11 in the series, a walk, 2 runs scored. And an RBI for Rob. Good compact swing. Luber's missing away.
Well, if the Z's can get a base knock here, they can cash in a couple and really continue what's been some much improved situational hitting by the home squad.
Toward left field, they haven't played that way though, and there's the catch by Steverson. Hit it hard but out, inning over. Z's get the equalizer. 1 hit, 1 error. They strand 2 after 1. We're tied at 1. You're watching the New Orleans Zephyrs, brought to you by Pizza Hut and WHNO Sports.
Good pizza.
Yeah.
Good pizza.
Yeah.
Good pizza.
Yeah.
Good pizza.
Yeah.
Hey, how about a pan pizza?
Hello, didn't we do that yesterday?
Good pizza.
Yeah.
At Pizza Hut, we've got so many pizzas, you can do something different every day. So many pizzas, one great deal.
Call Pizza Hut now for the WHNO Zephyrs meal deal. You'll get a large 3-topping pizza, breadsticks, and Pepsi, all for $15.99.
Welcome to great moments in cow history. The first cow jumps over the moon. Science pioneers the salt lick. The world embraces imitation leather. And finally, the greatest moment in cow history, the invention of the chicken sandwich by Truett Cattle, founder of Chick-fil-A.
Furniture buyers, are you looking for credit? At St. Germain's, we'll help everyone get it. That's right, we're going to help everyone that needs furniture to get credit. Shop and compare. St. Germain's has low prices every day.
I sure can use some credit.
At St. Germain's, we'll always treat you right.
At St. Germain's, we'll treat you right. Our quality always exceeds the price. At St. Germain's, we'll treat you right. Our quality always exceeds the price.
This New Orleans Zephyrs game is brought to you by Pizza Hut, Mellorine's Seafood and Po' Boys, Licensed to Kill Termite and Pest Control, First Assembly of Laplace, and Tasty Donuts.
First pitch here to Sechrist in the top of the second is a ball from Arocha. 14th pitch from Rene. 10 strikes thus far. This one's hard to right field, but there's Dax Jones. So good contact, but Sechrist retired for the out.
Sechrist getting a start because of the suspension and/or injury to Mejia.
There's Dax Jones, who saw that ball all the way.
Looks to be just a fastball. A little bit out over the plate, sinking away from him. Not a big problem. And Dax played the Sunfield perfectly.
You see Arocha there with that shot you're looking at. Just waiting, and they're doing this purposely. Rene loves to work quick, and Bob Warner just sat in the on-deck circle for about 15 seconds, making him wait. Warner at 328. He's really had a good year. 1-0 the count. This guy's versatile. He's played 5 different positions at shortstop tonight. 4 homers, 16 driven in, and it's 2-0.
We used to do that with Bob Gibson, Kenny. He liked to work pretty quick. When I was on the Mets way back when, we used to hold the game up like that and make him wait.
Paints the outside edge, and it's 2-1.
Net result was, instead of him shutting us out in 2 hours, it took him 2.5.
There's an indication of how quick Arocha works right there. I mean, he just caught the ball, and he started his windup, but it's 3-1. Munoz on deck.
He's ready to go. He's got a pretty good idea what he wants.
Wanted it in, pitched it away, and it's full 3-2.
At least it was a good pitch away.
It's not a good sign for Rene, though. He's got to have command. Typically does. When he makes mistakes, they get hit, as we saw earlier.
That looked like that fastball ran away when he was trying to make a pitch inside.
Off the end of the bat, fair. Into the right field corner for extra bases. Scatters the bullpen. Jones up with it. It's a double for Warner. Oh, there's a case of making a pretty good pitch and the hitter being fortunate.
I'll tell you what, if they can hit that one down the first baseline, a right-hander every time up, you've got no chance as a pitcher. Look at this. This is not on the plate. If it is, it's an absolutely perfect pitch, knee-high, painted on the outside corner, and he just shoots it down into the Z's pen. Dax Jones is going to hold him right there.
No chance for Daryl Ward over at first. Now a runner in scoring position for Juan Munoz, who's had a good year. 313, a homer, 13 RBIs. Good-looking Munoz. Breaking ball in, and it's 0-1. Munoz 4 for 12 in the series with a run scored and an RBI.
It looked like the straight overhand yacker.
They shade Munoz to hit the ball the other way. Another off-speed pitch with movement, and it's 0-2.
That wouldn't be the split finger, would it? Because he throws that split finger kind of as a changeup, and it really goes down.
Yeah, he calls it a fork ball. Same difference, basically. There it is again. This one came up and got the home plate umpire, DeMuro, in the mask. Loosened a filling there. Good looking, Mike. That's a hazardous job back there behind the dish.
They don't look like they have enough on, do they?
They really don't.
Got to keep that meat out of the way of the pitch.
Still 0-2 on the hitter. Sails way high and away. 1-2 on Munoz. Top of the second, tied at 1.
I'd have pads all up my arms and everywhere else. I mean, I don't want to get hit by that thing back there.
So swung at a bad ball. Another one of those fork balls and got him. Molesky tags him out. Third strikeout for Arocha.
Big Al, too. Get number 2 and leave it up to Todd Steverson. Look at this one. Now watch his hand. You can see that is the split finger or a fork ball.
Whatever. Good look at Rene trying to pitch around the runner at second. As Steverson bats, he struggled at 132, 2 homers and 4 RBIs. 1 for 9, a couple of walks in the series. This one in the air to center. Butler is still going back, but he's got to play. That takes care of the Redbirds in the second. No runs, a hit, no errors. They strand there first. Bottom of the second coming, tied at 1. You're watching the New Orleans Zephyrs, brought to you by Pizza Hut. WHNO Sports.
Introducing the Sicilian pizza from Pizza Hut, the most intense tasting pizza ever. This ain't no waltz through the daffodils. It's a sprint through a minefield with 4 corners. This is as much oregano, basil, and garlic as you can jam into the crust without the government regulating it. I got one word for you, pal. Duck and cover! This is the mother of all pizzas. Our new Sicilian pizza, only at Pizza Hut. Only $8.99. For the absolute mother of a deal, get up to 3 toppings or any specialty pizza for $2 more. Can you handle it?
Welcome back to Zephyrs Baseball, where our Carlton Cisco caught up with legendary reliever Lee Smith earlier.
Lee, all-time career saves leader in Major League Baseball, from retirement to spring training with the Royals, now the Houston Astros. What brought you back?
Well, like I said, I still have that desire to play, you know, and I always felt that I had something to offer the game. And the reason I was with Kansas City, they had a couple of kids that they wanted to look at, and I understood that, you know, and because they were like going to be part of the team's future, and I had no problem with that. And so I just went back home, and then something came up with Houston with an opportunity to possibly prolong my career, and that's something I want to do.
How long of it will you give it a try here with the Zephyrs and with Houston all together?
Well, I hadn't really just come out and put a deadline. You can't say, okay, I'm going to be ready in 2 weeks. You have no idea in that situation. Right now, I'm just throwing, trying to get my arm strength back and see some hitters. And hopefully, by the end of the homestand, we'll have roughly an idea where I am, where I'm coming along. But
thank you, Carlton. We are back here at Zephyr Field. Kenny Trahan has stepped out for a bit. The Z's in a 1-1 tie with the Memphis Redbirds. Batting in the bottom of the second inning, Dax Jones steps in. He's been hot lately, hitting at .270. No home runs, 8 RBIs, and a couple of them have been big ones. Lubers ripped. First pitch to right field. Munoz is there. So 1 pitch, 1 out. As Dax Jones hits it on the line. Hits it hard and shows you why baseball isn't always fair. You can hit it real easy and get a base hit. You can hit it real hard and you're out. Carlos Hernandez hasn't really been hitting it too hard lately. He's at .252 with a home run and 18 RBIs. The Z's second baseman steps in. Takes a sinker low and away. You ever get a chance to look at it on his left arm as he takes ball 2, and that's a good sign. He tends to be a little impetuous up there. He's got a tattoo, and it's Major League Baseball's logo on his left arm, right on the bicep, middle of his bicep. That's strike 1. I asked him how long he's had it there. He said about 4 years. I said, do you have to pay any royalties to Major League Baseball? And he laughed a little bit. 2-1 inside. He couldn't hold the bat up. It's off the plate, but tough one to hang on to the stick, and he's even to count. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. He's batting in the bottom of the second inning. A beautiful night out here at Zephyr Field. And a few people out on the levee on right center field. This one grounded into the hole, backhanded by the shortstop Warner. Not going to get him. Big stretch by the first baseman Sechrist, but Hernandez hit it in the right place with the right pace. Watch this one. This is probably off the end of his bat, as you can see, but he's jerked it into the hole. Warner sets up, and he slips just a little bit there, and that's enough. As Hernandez can run a little bit, and showed you how to beat one out to the shortstop for a base hit. Base hit number 2 for the Z's here. So with 1 out, they got a little something going as Arocha, a .250 hitter, steps up. He's bunting, and this will do it. First baseman Sechrist covering it, tags him out. But he gets the runner over to second base, and the Z's have a shot now with Russ Johnson, the leadoff hitter, up.
Now it's back to the top of the Z's batting order. And
this is a good job here. Bats out in front of him. Handles it well. Down the first baseline to the charging first baseman. Only 1 play. He tags out.
Zephyr's pitchers have done a good job in that regard all year long, Ron. They've really helped themselves, and that's a big part of the game.
More of the
This is a National League affiliate, and you're going to have to do that.
Yeah, they've kind of stuck some situational hitting on the other side of that. And look at this.
Let's see if they can score the run. This guy has a great arm. They're not even going to try him. Now a snap throw to first, and he's back. Munoz has, as I mentioned on the radio side last night, maybe the best arm we've seen of any outfielder in this league this year. And even though there were 2 outs, Al Petrique absolutely made the right play. Watch this. It's a little flare on the right, Ron, and you can describe what transpires.
Watch it. It's in front of Munoz, who is hard charging to get to this ball, and he gets onto the first hop, and his exchange is pretty good right there. And when he lets it go, it's an absolute seed to home plate. And, you know, you'd have just run Hernandez into an out. So Padrique at third base made the right call. Johnson, good piece of hitting. He finally hit one soft enough to fall in.
Precisely. It's supposed to even out. Hopefully it starts to. Here's Rivera, who flew out to right his first time with runners at the corners now. And 2 men out, tied at 1, bottom of the second. They play Louis straight away. Remember, he likes that first pitch, and he goes after it, but it's a slider away, and it's 0-1.
Pretty good pitch. He cut that one off the outside corner. Luis was pulling the trigger.
0-1 the count on Rivera. Straight away for Louis. Average depth all around the outfield. 1-1 the count. Rivera has driven in 7. Homered in his first game at Zephyr Field this year, and that's still the only home run.
He's really hit the ball well. I started to say the last time up before he flied out to right. He's hit the ball well for a guy that really doesn't get enough playing time. But he's the insurance guy for the big club. If somebody goes down at shortstop, he's the guy they're going to call up.
He can play third base or second, but short is the primary position. They've got Gutierrez and Bogar, who have done a very good job.
Looks like they want to go in again.
Beat that one off of his leg, and it's 1-2.
You watch the catcher at home with this great behind the pitcher shot, and you can tell usually if a pitcher sits inside, it's going to be a fastball in there, and he runs his sinker. You can see it run in on the right-handed hitter. He put the ball in a good location. Louis almost hit it off his foot.
Hernandez third, Johnson first, 2 outs, tied at 1. Bottom of the second, Luber's ready with a 1-2. Just got a little piece of it off of the glove of Marrero.
And Johnson at first base was going.
And returns to first.
That was that slider, and Luis did a good job to stay alive.
And now Marrero and the third baseman Hale will come over to converse with their hurler, Larry Lubers. A good look at this conversation that transpires. Z's have a rare off night tomorrow evening before the Omaha Royals come to town on Thursday to open a 4-game series. We'll have the Friday night game for you right here on WHNO TV.
Can't wait. These have been fun, Kenny. And they've been pretty good Zephyr ball games. That doesn't hurt either.
2-1 on TV thus far. Hoping to improve upon that. Luber's ready. Johnson had to dive back in. He had a pretty good lead over there. Carlos Guillen is coaching, and Carlos jumped when that throw came over there. I mean, those player reflexes, they just don't go away even when you're not playing.
Tell Carlos they can't pick you off when you're in the coach's box. Oh, yes, they can.
You saw that? I mean, he literally jumped. Yeah. On 1-2.
Catcher sits
there
in.
There goes Russ. And it's inside. The throw by Marrero. They have the runner caught up. Now they throw to third, and he's out at third on a very close play. Wow. Rivera is left standing at the plate as Hernandez is out at third base, and the inning is over for the Zephyrs. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. They have stranded 3 after 2. We're tied at 1. And you're watching the New Orleans Zephyrs, brought to you by Pizza Hut and WHNO Sports.
Good pizza.
Yeah.
Good pizza.
Yeah.
Good pizza.
Yeah.
Good pizza.
Yeah.
Hey, how about a pan pizza?
Hello, didn't we do that yesterday?
Good pizza.
Yeah.
At Pizza Hut, we've got so many pizzas, you can do something different every day. So many pizzas, one great deal.
Call Pizza Hut now for the WHNO Zephyrs meal deal. You'll get a large 3-topping pizza, breadsticks, and Pepsi, all for $15.99.
Hello, I'm Pastor R.C. Blakes Jr. of the New Home Full Gospel Ministries East New Orleans location. It's a church where God is changing lives. people are tapping into their potential. I want to invite you and your family to meet me this Sunday, 8 a.m., 10:30 a.m., and 6 p.m. in the evening. A church where people are excited to be, and God is blessing his people in a powerful way. The New Home Church is the place you're looking for. God bless you. Until then.
Tonight's Zephyrs game is brought to you in part by Planet Cellular Communications. Sign up now and pay no activation fee and receive 50% off all digital phones. Planet Cellular offers free delivery and same-day service. Planet Cellular is an authorized agent of Bell South Mobility. On to the third inning. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error Memphis. 1-3-0 New Orleans. The hair looks good.
Could be a tough night on the quaff.
Yeah, it could be. Lubers leads it off, takes the ball down and away. Arocha, 27 pitches in the game. 18 have been strikes. Faces his counterpart here, the 1-0. 1-1 the count.
Looking out at center field, the wind has shifted a little bit, now blowing sort of down into the right field corner. It was blowing straight out earlier.
On the ground to second base. Hernandez with all kinds of time. Takes care of Lubers. Now it's back to the top of the order and Placido Polanco.
Always good to get the pitcher leading off, even if he's a decent hitter. You'd rather see him start an inning. He gets a pretty good swing at a sinker right there. Hits a nice, polite ground ball to Hernandez, who is always going to be in front of the ball. You cannot hit the ball too hard for this guy to get in front of it.
He has no fear out there. He's a good fielder. Very emotional player. Strong arm at second base. Turns the double play very well. Has a hit in this game already.
A lot of that's courage, too. He'll stick around long enough to make the return.
Polanco was swinging on the first pitch of the ball game and homered to left his first time. He takes a forkball low here. Polanco now with 1 home run, 10 RBIs. That pitch was hung, and that's fair into the corner. So Polanco is liking the offerings of Arocha. He heads for second. Incaviglia digs it out. And that's a 1-out double. Rene just doesn't throw as hard as he used to. He's a mid-80s guy, and when he leaves the ball out over the plate like that, he's going to get in trouble.
I think he wanted to get it in on him, but this ball does not get inside. He turns on a fastball and yanks it down the left field line. Incaviglia does a good job of digging it out of that corner. Got a lot of different surfaces the ball can hit down there, so Inky does a good job holding him at 2.
Speedy Polanco at second, 1 out for Hale. Fly to center his first time. Way outside and high.
Take some of the advantage away from getting the pitcher out with the first out. Now you've basically gotten a guy on first base and the pitcher sacrificed him over.
2-0 to Hale, trying to keep the ball down as he must.
Advantage Redbirds.
They shade Hale to hit the ball slightly to the opposite field. Tied at 1, top of the third.
He's an interesting guy. His major league batting average is the same as his minor league, just about.
2-1 the count. Nice breaking ball from Arocha.
He hit 277. He was with 7 home runs and 78 RBIs in his time with Minnesota and Los Angeles.
At the knees, inside edge, says Mike DeMuro. Hale not too sure about that.
His overall minor league average is 279. That's pretty amazing. Just consistent.
Polanco with his lead. On the ground foul, first base side, and that one caught a still photographer down there. Got a piece of him. Probably from the Times-Picayune, I would imagine.
Matter of fact, that's the husband of Susan Rosegen.
Huh.
Alex.
Another 2-2. On the ground toward first. Ward makes the play near the line, unassisted for out number 2, and on the play, Polanco advances to third base. Ward was playing near the line, and that paid off.
Watch him here. He's going to yank it, and it's just a big hop. All Ward has to do is get to the line and make this play backhanded. A couple of strides to step on the base. That gets the runner over to third.
Here's Wayne Kirby. They've been busting him in with regularity, and they've stopped him at 3 for 14 in the series. Arocha struck him out in the first. Runner third, 2 outs. And they play Kirby to pull, per usual. On the ground to first base to Ward again. Arocha will cover, but Ward doesn't need him. That takes care of the Redbirds here in the third. No runs and a hit. No errors. They strand their second. Bottom of the third coming. Tied at 1. You're watching the New Orleans Zephyrs, brought to you by Pizza Hut and WHNO Sports.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Pizza Hut, Melorine Seafood and Po' Boys, Hoffman's Egg Quality Lube and Radiator Repair, Licensed to Kill Termite and Pest Control, CMS Complimentary Medical Services, Concordia University, Attorney Sam Yonter, Chick-fil-A, and Planet Cellular.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. A message brought to you by Christian attorney Sam Yonter, handling personal injury and consumer protection cases. Call Sam Yonter at 1-800-45-JUSTICE.
Good pizza. Mmm.
Yeah.
Good pizza. Mmm.
Yeah.
Good pizza. Mmm.
Yeah.
Good pizza. Mmm.
Yeah.
Hey, how about a pan pizza?
Hello, didn't we do that yesterday?
Good pizza. Mmm.
Yeah.
At Pizza Hut, we've got so many pizzas, you can do something different every day. So many pizzas, one great deal.
Call Pizza Hut now for the WHNO Zephyrs Meal Deal. You'll get a large 3-topping pizza, breadsticks, and Pepsi, all for $15.99.
If you or someone in your family is a victim of violent crime, you know how hard it is to start picking up the pieces. But your crime victim compensation program may be able to help. It can pay for medical expenses, counseling, lost wages, even funerals. Contact this program to learn more about financial assistance for victims. It's hard to put your life back together again. Your crime victim compensation program can help you get started.
Well, a good look at the levee and some of the patrons out there this evening enjoying what is transpiring. It's become a popular spot here at Zephyr Field. 1-1, bottom of the third. Interesting note in baseball, and there are several today which we'll mention during the broadcast. MSNBC is reporting that the Mariners and Dodgers have finally agreed on a trade that would send Randy Johnson to the Dodgers. MSNBC is reporting that Ismael Valdez and Wilton Guerrero will go to Seattle for Randy Johnson. Of course, there had been a talked about deal last week that did not materialize, but it looks like this one is going to happen, Ron.
Well, it seemed like when they took Nomo off the Dodgers roster, something was up last night.
There's a ball hit up the middle, a base hit by Rivera. He just reached out and poked it into center. A nice piece of hitting by Louis. And the Z's have the leadoff man aboard for the second time in 3 innings.
That's really something you didn't see him do a whole lot last year. Those off-speed pitches away seemed to eat him up. And this year, he's just been a better hitter on them. This is a pretty good pitch that he hit into center field. Didn't hit it hard, but he hit it nice. Look, that's dead off the end of the bat. Now
and the batter is Daryl Ward, who singled solidly to left his first time. This one on the ground, and that's through. Great situational hitting by Ward. Pulls it through the hole, and it's 2 on, and nobody out.
The worst thing there is, though, it held Louis up going into second base. He didn't want to get hit by the ball. He got great overspin on the ball, though, and that's what a real strong hitter like Daryl Ward will do. That second hop is really accelerating.
So Daryl's 2 for 2, and here's Pete Incaviglia, who reached on the error by the second baseman in the first, but drove in his 17th run. Now with a chance to do some damage with nobody out and 2 on. Z's now have 5 hits in the game. There's Big Pete. Really gotten himself in great shape this year.
He lost about 35 or so pounds over the winter.
Missing the inside edge. They try to come into him and then go out to him and try not to leave anything out over the plate, because when they do that, they're in big trouble.
That happened the other night, didn't it? He busted a couple of them out of here.
Straightaway center and to right center, telling you about his power. This is a cavernous yard. And it's 2-0 to Pete. That's not where you want to be to Inky. He'll look for a pitch to drive here. Incaviglia, as mentioned, has had a very good series. He's a hot hitter. He's done some damage against this team this year. 4 home runs in 7 games against Memphis, along with 9 RBIs against this club. The 2-0. And now it is 3-0 with Molesky on deck. And but I don't think we even have to speculate as to whether he has the green light or not.
I'd be real careful with this pitch if I were Lubers.
He's going after it if he likes it, I guarantee you. 3-0 the count. Marrero the sign, and now Lubers with a 3-0. He did go after it, but it was a bad ball. And it's 3-1.
He got a little overloaded. You know, what you like to do sometimes when you get the green light on 3-0 is you're trying to be casual about it, like you're taking it. He was smiling a little bit.
You saw the expression there.
he knew he got a little too pumped up as he swung at ball 4.
He was looking for meat there, and it didn't happen, and it's 3-1.
That's called guessing a strike.
And he walks him, and the bases are full. Incaviglia trots to first. Lubers issues his second free pass, and now the Z's have a big chance for a big inning with the sacks juiced. Nobody out. Mitch Molesky to the plate. Incaviglia still laughing a bit. Here's Molesky, 6 homers, 25 RBIs. Homered against this pitcher over in Memphis, as mentioned. And let's see if Mitch can do some damage here.
He had a big day on Sunday, 3 for 4 with a couple of RBIs. He's 14 for his last 39, and now it's when Mitch needs to be a good hitter here. You don't want to just pull the ball. You want to hit the ball where you can hit the ball.
Runners lead from every base. First pitch to Mitch. 0-1 the count. We should mention also that the backup catcher for the Z's, the very capable Mark Rene, who was struck by a pitch on the left knee last night, is okay. It's just a bad bruise. He's day to day, and that's a welcome relief. He's a good player, and they need him.
Oh, you bet your life. He's a great handler of pitchers.
Molesky took it over but high, and it's 1-1.
When I saw Mitch in the batting cage today, I said, how was your off day yesterday? Because Mitch was supposed to get himself a breather. And when Ronan was unfortunate enough to get drilled with a slider in the kneecap, Mitch came into the ballgame. He ends up in the middle of a melee. He had to tackle Roberto Mejia.
And now it's 2-1. Did a good job, I might add. Well, Mejia didn't get 2 steps before he hit the dirt.
I said I gave you credit for a solo tackle. I said, but I couldn't find anywhere in the score sheet no columns for tackles in baseball. He was a football player, so he knows what to do.
The 2-1. And now it is 3-1. He threw him a sinker. Wouldn't give in. Pitches have been close, but that pitch was low. There's no room at the end. Molesky should see a fastball here.
Now you have to be a good hitter here. Don't do the Incaviglia thing and swing at something you shouldn't.
Fans anticipate something big on 3-1. Here it comes. Hard base hit right. 1 run home. Here comes Ward. They're going to stop him. It's an RBI single for Molesky, and a 2-1 Zephyrs lead.
He almost hit this ball too hard, Kenny, but I guarantee you he was locked and loaded on this one. He tries to get it in on him, but it's right out over the plate, and Mitch just flat tallywhacks it. This ball was a bolt into right field, and of course, it gets to Munoz in pretty good shape, and as he's shown you before, he's got a pretty good arm. You can see that one hopper. It's a little up the line to the catcher, Marrero, but you didn't want Ward running on that one. Whoa, there goes looked like a F-18 to me.
Yes, it did. Military style. Not part of the regular air traffic of Moisan whatsoever, but that probably emanating from Bell Chase, perhaps?
I would guess.
Marty Mason, the pitching coach, to the mound, visiting with Lubers as he's in a real jam. Bases loaded, nobody out, a run home. And it's 2-1 New Orleans on top, and the batter will be Rob Butler. 3 hits and a walk in the inning. Butler hit the ball hard, lined out to left his first time. They play him as a dead opposite field hitter, and it's paid off last night when he was hitless, and thus far tonight when he hit the ball hard but out to Steverson. See the defensive alignment right there. You see the center fielder Kirby well over into left center field. Look at the big gap in right center. That's a good view by our crew. With the bases loaded, stepping off is Lubers.
Well, his last out bat in this situation would have resulted in a run. He lined out to the left fielder deep enough. Let's see if he can get one up the gap.
With the sacks juiced. Lubers again steps off. PCL Tucson shut out Vancouver today 5-0. First game of a pair. Nashville tied at Edmonton 1-1. Rest of the games in the PCL still to come.
PCL's party fund got a little money yesterday with that on-field skirmish between the Z's and Memphis.
Butler hits it hard to center. Here comes the center fielder, caught, and not a good base running play, and safe at second as the runner there, Incaviglia, just got back. Butler again spanked it hard, but Ward at third was halfway up the line.
Where's he going? Where's Incaviglia going? Well, Inky should be not halfway, but because it's the center fielder's closing on it. But the center fielder showed us last night he didn't have much of an arm.
They should have had him here, Ron. This is a terrible throw by Kirby from a short distance.
Well, the thing is, if he's tagged up at third, Ward goes on the play. That, you know, Kirby can't throw the ball in center field, so he costs you a little bit of a run.
Yeah, Daryl didn't quite play that one the right way. Here's Dax Jones with the bases loaded, 1 out. Low and away for a ball. Yeah, you could see that ball was going to be caught when it left the bat based upon where the outfielders are playing. They're shallow for Butler.
Well, when you're at third base, though, you got to make sure the ball drops, and that means you go back to third base.
Absolutely.
You're going to score if it drops no matter what happens.
The 1-0. Just missed the outside edge, so he's digging himself a hole again at 2-0. Or at least in the very close vicinity, maybe 3 steps away, 2 steps where you can tag quickly.
Well, the Z's are just so close to busting this thing wide open, and they haven't done it yet. They lead 2-1, but that ball was hit pretty hard.
Now on 2-0. It is 2-1. Just caught the corner from Lubers in the National League. Mets lead the Pirates 2-1, top of the third. Montreal leads the Phillies 3-1, top of the fifth. Braves lead at Milwaukee 2-0. They're in the bottom of the second. The other games in the National League are still to come, other than one that was played earlier today. Cubs beat Florida 2-1. Hard to short. This should end the inning. And it will. And boy, missed opportunity. And Molesky pulls up limping. He's lame, and that hurts also. So he's going to run. 3 hits, no errors, 2 stranded. They've left 5 already. Lead at 2-1 after 3. You're watching the New Orleans Zephyrs, brought to you by Pizza Hut and WHNO Sports.
Hoffman's Quick Lube and Radiator Repair is located at 3650 Airline Highway in Metairie, specializing in industrial vehicles as well as foreign and domestic car care. Free estimates are available on all types of car repair, from busted radiators and water pumps to a chassis lube or oil change using Pennzoil products. We feature a 6-month labor guarantee on all repairs. For honest, dependable service, stop by Hoffman's today.
Come see our dad at Hoffman's.
Because he uses Pennzoil products, which work like liquid ball bearings in your car.
Good pizza. Mmm.
Yeah.
Good pizza. Mmm.
Yeah.
Good pizza. Mmm.
Yeah.
Good pizza. Mmm.
Yeah.
Hey, how about a pan pizza?
Hello, didn't we do that yesterday?
Good pizza. Mmm.
Yeah.
At Pizza Hut, we've got so many pizzas, you can do something different every day. So many pizzas, one great deal.
Call Pizza Hut now for the WHNO Zephyrs Meal Deal. You'll get a large 3-topping pizza, breadsticks, and Pepsi, all for $15.99.
Ron, this is pitcher's best friend.
The old double play, and this one's a quick 6-4-3. after Butler hit a line drive. That ball stung by Dax Jones to the shortstop Warner, to the second baseman Polanco, and that's about as quick as it works. Dax, no chance to beat that one out.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the contact. As you mentioned, both hitters hit the ball hard, but to no avail. These do have the lead by 1 as we head to the 4th, and here with the play-by-play call on the middle 3 is Ron Swoboda.
Thank you, Kenny. Eli Marrero, the catcher, steps in. First pitch swinging, and he rips it down the left field line into the Memphis bullpen, scatters his teammates. Usually you see somebody wave a towel. It's like, we've had enough. This guy's a serious prospect. And that one bounced up there, looked to be a slider.
I know this will really surprise you. The Mariners bullpen lost another one today.
No, really?
Yeah, Baltimore got 2 in the bottom of the 10th and beat Seattle 9-8. What a bigger story in that one I'll tell you about in a moment.
Out over the plate and fouled back.
Story there, the home runs that were hit, because A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, hit his 21st, and Ken Griffey Jr. hit 2, and he's now got 21 on the year.
Split finger got him in the dirt, so he didn't mess around with Marrero. That's what he gave him the last time up. Eli swings at one in the dirt. Split finger's been a good pitch for him.
This is a great split finger fastball with 2 strikes. He just starts it around his knees and drops it down to his feet, and Marrero can't hold up. That's the key pitch when you're ahead.
I never have to hit off too many of those, and they're nasty. As Sechrist swings and misses, strike 1. So working quickly and effectively is Arocha. That one ripped into the right side stands, right behind the Z's pen. There you go, young man.
Oh, boy.
Ask one of those pitchers if they'll sign it down there in the Z's pen.
It's right down near that House of Blues pavilion. There's another one.
Another swing and miss. He threw a slider, it looked like, under his hands and Katie. So 2 Ks in this inning.
Well, the
5 altogether.
The thing that the audience should notice that all these pitches are out of the strike zone, but the key is he's ahead of all these hitters. He's 1-2, 1-2, 0-2. When that happens, you have to expand your zone. Watch where this pitch is. It starts around the knees, and it drops down again near his ankles, and you just can't lay off, in particular when you are behind in the count.
That might have been another split finger, too. Sometimes it's hard from up here to tell. That looked like a slider. Strike 1, so there he goes, getting right on top of Pop Warner. Misses. 2 gone now. The Z's lead the ball game 2-1. Really could have busted it wide open. Hit the ball hard enough, got guys on base.
One other note from that Seattle-Baltimore game, Arthur Rose, the Baltimore pitcher, was hit by a line drive in the chest, had to leave the game.
Oh.
Speaking of being hit.
Bang. Well, that seemed to be smarting a little bit, and I don't blame him. He's trying not to show it. There's nowhere to go in this one. This is
a fastball, and it tails way into the hitter, Warner. Arocha just trying to come into him with a fastball, but I mean, he missed real bad with that one and got him near the 3 in the back. And I don't think there was any intent there. I just think that one got away from him. The problem there is that the opposing dugout, of course, had last night on their minds, and they know that Arocha has good control, so the suspicion would be there, though I don't think there was any intent personally. There's no need to wake this team up right now.
Well, I don't think there was any intent on Malicki's part.
You mean
Malaki's part? Malicki. We'll explain why that might be a little discrepancy. Doug Malicki, the former Zephyr, pitching for Memphis. Juan Munoz is the hitter here with a 1 ball, no strike count. He's ahead 2-0 now with a runner at first base, but Bob Malacki last night drilled Roberto Mejia, and it actually broke his arm. He was in a cast, but in the fight that ensued, started by Mejia, ripped down the left field line inside the stripe. This is going to go for extra bases. It bounds out. Warner's going to score as the throw is relayed into third base and cut off there. So it's a 2-2 ball game. Very quickly. What a nice piece of hitting by Juan Munoz.
Well, this guy's hitting .313 coming in. He's been impressive against the Zephyrs all season long thus far in the series over in Memphis and again here. So they hit batsmen with 2 outs. Really Comes back to Juan Arocha. Again, he left this pitch up, and Munoz took a pitch on the outer portion and looked like he was looking for it and just hammered it that way down the line. Not much that Incaviglia would do, especially with the runner going on the play. That's what enabled Warner to score easily, and we're tied at 2.
So Todd Steverson, the left fielder, steps in with a runner at second base and 2 out. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Still ahead of the hitters.
Minnesota bombed Oakland 10-3 this afternoon. Ricky Henderson can still play. He homered for the Winners.
Like some sort of off-speed changeup inside. He hangs it inside.
Texas leads at Tampa Bay 7-3, bottom of the 6th. Will Clark out of New Orleans has hit his 8th.
Off the outside corner, swing and a miss. Will has in a little bit of a skid for a while.
Yes, he was. Cleveland leads at Detroit 6-3, top of the 6th. Boston leads at Toronto 5-3, bottom of the 5th, behind Steve Avery.
Up in the zone, called up out of the zone. Ball 2, strike 2, 2 outs. A 2-2 ball game.
Former LSU star Mike Soroka pitching for the White Sox tonight. They're tied with New York 1-1, top of the 4th at Yankee Stadium.
This one up in the air to center field, and it's hit pretty good. Back goes Butler. He's running onto the track as he makes the play over the shoulder. Steverson is out. Memphis is done. It's a 2-2 ball game. You're watching New Orleans Zephyrs baseball, brought to you by Pizza Hut and WHNO Sports.
Furniture buyers, are you looking for credit? At St. Germain's, we'll help everyone get it. That's right, we're going to help everyone that needs furniture to get credit. Shopping compares. St. Germain's has low prices every day.
I sure can use some credit.
At St. Germain's, we'll always treat you right.
At St. Germain's, we'll treat you right. Our quality always exceeds the price. At St. Germain's, we'll treat you right. Our quality always exceeds the price.
Back at Zephyr Field, bottom of the 4th inning, and it's a 2-2 tie in this one. I'm now joined by outfield instructor for the Astros, Bill Verdon. And Bill, what brings you to New Orleans tonight?
Well, basically, I'm here just to spend some time with the outfielders, work with them a little bit, watch them play, and hope that I can maybe convey a thing or two that might help them.
Now, as an outfield instructor, you don't stay just in New Orleans here with the Zephyrs. You were telling me you'll stay here through Friday, and then you're out of town again.
No, I'm going to Jackson from here. That's our AA club, and I'll do the same thing there that I've done here.
Thanks for your time. We'll send it back upstairs to Bill and Ron.
Pretty good outfielder you're talking about there, Bill Verdon. I played against him near the end of his career.
And let's not forget what he accomplished as a manager. That was the most significant thing of his career, managing with the Astros for several years, managed with the Yankees. Last year was the bench coach with the Astros, stepped down from that job to spend more time with his family, and that's the job that Matt Galante now has with the Astros. Bill's a good man. It's great to see him in New Orleans.
He's old school all the way, and he's going to have those outfielders out there around 9 or 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. That'll give you an idea about it as Carlos Hernandez takes a fastball from Larry Lubers up around the facial area. Any reason to believe this guy's not intense? That's hold the ball.
Well, it was high, but you saw Marrero doing a good job of trying to pull the pitch. He was up, and he just snatched it down and make it look pretty good. Good catchers can steal a strike or two in that fashion.
And our boy Hernandez now takes it to 3-0. Nice to see him showing a little patience up there.
Could he possibly walk here?
We say that with a little tongue-in-cheek, as he's only walked a couple of times this year, and there you go. Well, you couldn't hit that if he wanted to, but nice to see him patient, and he works his way to a walk. And does Aziz have a runner aboard for Rene Arocha, who'll probably be bunting?
That's the 5th time he's walked in 189 at-bats this year, and that's the game that Carlos has to learn to play because of his offensive tools. He's got quick hands, but he's not going to hit for power, and he's got speed, so he's got to get on base.
Yeah, and he's in a little bit of a skid at 3 for his last 30. Actually, 4 for his last 31, so that's a little better than 100. Arocha will be bunting. Not showing it yet, but he will. Bunts at a high one to the first baseman. He spins and throws it to second. That won't get the job done. That turns into a nasty looking, and that's a well done double play started by the first baseman Sechrist, who spun to the shortstop. So score it 3-6-4.
Well, the pitch was up in the zone, and he tried to go up to bunt it, and he bunted it very hard. And a good play by Sechrist, who, once he gets Hernandez, you know it's going to be a double play. As you can see, Warner cheat there, out on the bag, and they get Arocha easy, who doesn't run well, with the second baseman Polanco covering.
Just bunted a bad ball, and he bunted it too hard as Johnson steps up.
These now have hit into 2 double plays in this game, taking themselves out of some rally situations.
Johnson pops it up. This one will play, will it? Here comes the second baseman. No, it drops. It's a knock. Well, you had the second baseman, the right fielder, and the first baseman all in hot pursuit of this one, but Russ Johnson just picked up the right area of the ball diamond to drop that pop up into.
Well, like you said earlier, he's hit the ball hard and knocked on it. He has, look at the previous play. Warner's not going to be on the bag. See, he makes the catch, and he's a good foot off the bag. But in defense of Bob Warner, this happens all the time in baseball, and it's very seldom called. It is called occasionally, and when it is, it really draws the ire of most players and most baseball people, because all you're looking for is consistency with that call. And if you're going to call it, call it. If you're not, don't.
The other thing is, sometimes you want to give that guy a little break around that base, because those are spikes on those guys' feet. And if the throw's looking like it's going to beat him, cheating is not necessarily a vice. Ripped down the left field line by Luis Rivera. And boy, has he been swinging the bat. So Russ Johnson's got another soft base hit. So last night we were telling you he was 1 for 4 and hit the ball hard every time. Tonight he's hit the ball soft twice, and he's 2 for 2 with a walk.
It is, in fact, evening out, as we surmised earlier.
Right before our eyes and in short order. I like it when it does that.
Let's see if Louis can plug that line and drive home a run. He almost did a moment ago.
He had a knock his last time up. Quick snap throw to first. Russ back standing up.
Well, with 2 outs, it's a possibility that he'll run here. Deeper the count gets, the more likely it is that Russ will take off, try to create something.
This is not much of a curveball pitcher. He'll throw a slider for the breaking ball, a changeup and a sinker. But Russ will look as that one misses. Russ will look for that curveball in the dirt, and it's a great pitch to run on, because the catcher, very often on a curveball in the dirt, you could take off on that pitch if it looks like it's going to be in the dirt, because the catcher sometimes doesn't field it cleanly. And even if he does, it plays an awful lot like a delayed steal, and the catcher's not really ready to throw it. Usually he's more concerned with just catching the ball or blocking it. Good gamble as this one grounded again. Outside the third base coaching box foul.
In that White Sox-Yankees game, another former LSU star, Albert Bell, is at his 12th home run of the year. The Angels lead at Kansas City 2-0. They're in the bottom of the second, so you're updated on all of the games in progress.
Has Albert been inducted into the LSU Athletic Hall of Fame yet?
Don't think that's going to happen, Ron.
For all his accomplishments in professional baseball, he did kind of leave on a sour note, didn't he? 1-2 now to Luis. Swings at a bad ball, grounds it to the shortstop, Warner. He'll throw it across the diamond. The Z's are done. They get no runs on a base hit. Ball game's tied at 2. You're watching the New Orleans Zephyrs, brought to you by Pizza Hut and WHNO Sports.
Good pizza. Mmm.
Yeah.
Good pizza. Mmm.
Yeah.
Good pizza. Mmm.
Yeah.
Good pizza. Mmm.
Yeah.
Hey, how about a pan pizza?
Hello, didn't we do that yesterday?
Yeah.
Good pizza.
Yeah.
At Pizza Hut, we've got so many pizzas, you can do something different every day. So many pizzas, one great deal.
Call Pizza Hut now for the WHNO Zephyr's Meal Deal. You'll get a large 3-topping pizza, breadsticks, and Pepsi, all for $15.99.
Welcome to Faith Alive, the teaching ministry of Pastor Philip G. Goudeau of Sacramento, California.
You done dibbed and dabbed and lied and cheated and held back and did all kind of thing, and it wasn't but the mercy of God that kept you alive right now.
Catch Pastor Goudeau and Faith Alive right here on this station.
And we'd like to remind you, tonight's Zephyrs game is brought to you in part by Planet Cellular Communications. If you sign up now, you pay no activation fee and you receive 50% off all digital phones. Planet Cellular offers free delivery and same-day service. Planet Cellular is an authorized agent of Bell South Mobility. We're in the top of the 5th inning of a 2-2 ball game here at Zephyr Field. Ron Swoboda with Kenny Trahan. And Larry Lubers, the pitcher for Memphis, swinging and missing on the first one, has the honors again. He led off back in the 3rd inning, hit a ground ball to the second baseman out. Rene Arocha is ready, misses with a fast one, low and away. Lubers came in at hitting .077. I've hit that before, and it's not fun. And I was getting paid to hit it as Arocha runs the count to 2-1. That's low and away, so...
Well, he better just throw him a fastball here. He does not want to walk this guy, and Rene's got good control.
Yeah, not time to mess around. That's big and taken right down Broadway.
Just have to throw him the same pitch here and see if he can hit it.
No time to be cute, is it? That one ripped foul. He was guessing fastball and got the head out a little quick. Luber's got enough strike zone for you.
6'6".
You ought to be able to get it in there. This one foul down the right field line. There might be a shot at this one. Over comes the right fielder, Dax Jones, and he's just out of his reach.
He wants you to come work in there.
Well, Dax ended up in the first row of seats going after it. That's a great effort trying to steal that out by Dax. He did everything he could, and he was going toward his bullpen, so his bullpen mates surrendered the territory to him.
It'd probably help him out a little bit. The ball was fading a little. So it finds the seats, and Lubers finds himself with another 3-2 count with nobody out, leading off here in the top of the 5th. Strike. Strike nothing. Ball 4, so Arocha's walked the pitcher, and that's not a good thing.
That's a real bad thing, and that is going to open up an inning, I'm afraid. Polanco, who bats now, has homered and doubled against him. One good note in baseball today. The amateur draft held today, of course. Pat Burrell, as expected, out of the University of Miami, the fine first baseman, selected first by the Philadelphia Phillies. And Jeff Winchester of Archbishop Rummel High School was a sandwich pick, 40th selection overall by the Colorado Rockies. For those who aren't aware, that's a ball just missing. A sandwich pick is a pick that's allocated between the first and second rounds. A pick allocated to a team that has some compensation coming to them. And the Rockies chose him with a sandwich pick between the first and second rounds. J.D. Drew, by the way, went 5th to St. Louis.
They're supposed to be able to sign him, correct?
Oh, they've got the money, don't they?
Grounded, right side, base hit. Lubers will probably check into second base as Arocha has given up a knock to Polanco. He's 3 for 3.
And 3/4 of the way to the cycle. And that ball wasn't too far from Daryl Ward. I think Ward was impeded by the base runner. Watch how close he is to this ball. pitch is out over the plate, and unfortunately, you're not going to see it with that shot. But Ward was pretty close to the baseball there, Ron, and had he left his feet, I'm pretty sure he would have at least knocked it down or maybe caught the ball. But in defense of him, I think he was impeded. And again, you walk the pitcher, and you're in big trouble.
What he should have done was run into the runner if he could, trying to field the ball, because that's an out. So we got 2 on here, first and second. Bunting, left side, it's going to stay fair.
That's going to be a hit.
That's a knock for Chip Hale's. It was a perfect sacrifice and, you know, in a perfect position. And that third baseline will hold the ball fair, as you see.
Yeah, the pitch is right out over the plate away, and he got it off the top end, which is what you want to do, right in the right direction.
Watch this one.
And the way it's sloped, it's going to hold the baseball, and it stayed right on the edge of the grass, finally kicked the edge, and didn't roll very far toward the line. It's a base hit all the way, and really nothing you can do. And again, you get back to walking the pitcher to set up a big inning, potentially. Remember, the Zephyrs had the bases loaded, nobody out in the third. They only scored once. Now Memphis has the opportunity, and they've got their big hitters up.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes wanting to win is overrated in AAA because these guys really want to be somewhere else, and that somewhere else is the big leagues. But when you've been swept the first 3 of a 4-game series, you don't want to walk out of here 4 times losers. As Kirby swings and fouls it as they continue to pitch him on his hands. They're just not going to get out of there unless you make them get out of there.
It is very tough to sweep. Z's have accomplished that once this year against Edmonton here at this ballpark.
And this ball game may be about who cashes in on a big run-scoring situation as the ball goes right through the wickets. Mitch Molesky just didn't keep his glove home, and that one squirted through. Well, the go-ahead.
The ball was in the dirt, but as you mentioned, I think it went right through his legs, and with that being the case, I think you have to consider giving Molesky a pass ball here. Judge for yourself. The pitch is in the dirt, another of those splitters. But it went right through him. He just didn't get down and block the baseball there. Not with his body, not with his glove. And
wild pitch. See, he tried to
give him a wild pitch, and I would definitely have some disagreement with that.
As Kirby is still the hitter now, and it's ball 2 and 1 strike. Yeah, I mean, see, the mistake by the catcher there is you're not supposed to try to catch that ball. With the bases loaded, there's no point in catching it. You just want to block it. You cannot let it get through you. Be a little more careful on that one. I think Mitch thought he could catch the ball, and what happened is it skimmed off of the back edge of home plate and stayed down. But Mitch didn't have. Mitch had the door open. The wickets were open, and it went straight through.
Salkeld starts to throw in the bullpen as Arocha is really struggling now.
There's a splitter, and that was a great pitch there. The count goes 3-2.
This is the most he's used that pitch all year long, by my recollection. Tonight, primarily because he doesn't have much of his other stuff going the way he'd like to, as Salkeld throws in the bullpen. He hasn't worked in a long time.
This one grounded to the second baseman. Another run will score. Hernandez makes a pretty good play as Memphis takes a 4-2 lead over the Zephyrs.
Oh, there's the situational hitting that we talk about. That's Ron Kulpa. He just got the ball middle of the diamond, up the middle, to get the run home. No problem there, and it's 4-2. Still only 1 out, and another runner is at third base as Kirby gets his 24th RBI.
So they stand a chance to score all 3 of them by hook and crook. They haven't done anything too big. Infield's in to protect.
Wanted that pitch back. Boy, was that a hanger. Rene has had problems beyond the 5th inning. He's been pretty much a 5 to 6 inning pitcher this year.
Big ugly looking hack by Marrero. Fouled down the left field line. He threw him nothing but split fingers the first 2 times up, and Marrero missed them all.
The key is getting ahead and going to work because he needs a strikeout desperately.
That one grounded to Russ Johnson. The throw's going to come home. The tag, he calls him out. And I don't know about that, but he is out at home. Good play by Russ Johnson.
Johnson made a heck of a play. He had to go up to get this ball as it was banged into the ground, and the ball takes a high hop typically on this hard infield. Toward the line, Russ's throw beats the runner, and the tag is there. And he's out.
I don't know about that.
No, he looked like he was out to me.
That. I think he got his leg across. He tagged him pretty high on his leg, but I'll take the call. 2 gone now, ripped into left field. by Sechrist. It's off the wall in deep left central. Around and scoring is Marrero. And it's a 5-2 ball game. Memphis has cashed in big.
So much for the reprieve, getting the out at the plate, as he just boxed a fastball here. And he just doesn't throw hard enough to be able to pitch out over the plate. And Sechrist almost hit this ball out the other way to the deepest part of the park, high up off the wall. And Caviglia did all he could. But it's a double and an RBI, and they're killing for time to get Salkel ready to get into this game, as Arocha has run out of gas here in the 5th. And it all started by walking the pitcher. And you hate to embellish that, but obviously that is the reason that this is happening. So the Z's will make a pitching change. This pitching change is brought to you by Melorine Seafood and Po' Boys. You're watching the New Orleans Zephyrs, brought to you by Pizza Hut on WHNO Sports.